Hey man, what's going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just playing my drums. What are you up to?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the worship series. Hey, would you be interested in doing something?
Yeah.
Great, yeah. Could you give a message?
Uh, I'm willing, but I don't know if I'm qualified.
Perfect, man. Hey, Jesus does the qualifying. All we gotta do is the following. You'll be great.
Okay.
All right, perfect. Let's do this.
All right, bud. No problem.
You unravel me with a melody. You surround me with a song of deliverance from my enemies till all my fears are gone. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. From my mother's womb, you have chosen me. Love has called my name. I've been born again to your family. Your blood flows through my veins. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God. I'm no longer a slave to fear. I am a child of God.
The fellowship is a big part, I think, of learning how to worship God just in your everyday life. Because, like, you know, before God, it was drugs and alcohol, and there was a lot of selfishness, and there was a lot of sin, and it was like just a lot of darkness and depression. And whenever God starts to help you walk out of that, he gives you fellowship. He gives you people that are living right. He gives you people that are sober. And he because before you get out of that darkness, you think, what is my life going to be like without this drugs and alcohol, without this the way it makes me feel, like what's it going to be like? And it's fearful. It's a lot of fear. And so he gives us people, man. He gives us sober activities. It's like the things that I get to do now that is just so much fun, completely 100% sober. And I just never would have thought that would have been so much fun. But even like turning my life around for worshiping God on my drums. It's like because I used to have this desire to want to play rock and roll and live that whole life and go that whole way. And now, man, I get so much pleasure from just playing for God, and that's it.
So what's it like to receive that kind of love and support from people?
Man, it's pretty awesome because like I was saying before, like until you actually start walking out of it and you actually start surrendering and you actually start trusting something outside of yourself, which is God. It's like you don't even know that that really exists. I mean, like you don't even know that it's possible. So it's pretty amazing.
He's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands.
And then like it's one of those things where once you start doing better, then like people start seeing you do better, and then they start noticing, and they start paying attention, and they're like, there's something different about him. Especially like people that don't know you, like know you, like coworkers, like they seen you before, and then they see that something's different. They see that something's changed, and they know that it's nothing that you could have done yourself because because you used to be a pretty big dirt ball. You know what I mean? So like they see that this old person changed into a new creation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do, and that's kind of incredible in of itself. I mean, it almost brings like fellowship into like these multiple dimensions. You're talking about like
Yeah.
learning to trust
Yeah.
something outside of yourself.
Right. Yeah, it
That's
does.
it's almost like then like with you're almost having fellowship with almost anyone you meet then too, right? Like it seems
Yeah.
like you're talking about how people noticed you were different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you can have fellowship. I mean, short fellowship with even like people you meet at the gas station, like the attendant there, or holding the door for someone and getting like a small little conversation. And like that's, I mean, I believe that's worshiping God. I mean, just showing showing kindness to somebody and letting them know that they exist, and that they're not being overlooked.
You saying that, it makes me kind of think about the fruit of the spirit a little bit, like in being kind. That's like one of the fruits.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's almost like if the if fellowship, it's almost like if fellowship was a garden, like the fruit of the spirit would be like inside that garden, you know?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I could walk right through it.
Love the fruits of the spirit. It's one of my favorite things to think about, man. Like, because if I can keep those rolling around in my head just on any given time, I tend to act better.
Of God.
Like on Joe Dirt. This where you want to be when Jesus come back?
Well, you're talking like character defects. That kind of reminded me about you mentioned recovery. The Bible talks about how it's not good for us to be alone, and how He often sends us in like pairs when we do go out. And I part of the thing that's because it's hard, like doing ministry, doing life.
Yeah.
Has there been someone like that for you that's kind of just come alongside you and really helped you walk out?
My wife. Yeah, she's helped me a lot in as far as my walk with God. Encouragement, helping me to see things in a different light. Yeah, she gives me perspective on a lot of things that I never took notice that way. Yeah, definitely. She's awesome. She's definitely a gift from God.
And I think marriage is like one of the ultimate fellowships, right? Like two becoming one.
Yeah. Actually, by our coffee pot, we have that scripture. I think Nancy may have gotten it for us for our wedding. But I love that though, man, because like it's true. It's like I really feel that way because like I swear like she's like she can know like I don't know, it's weird. It's like we've become one. Like when something's wrong with me, it's almost like it's wrong with her too. I'm like, that's weird. I haven't ever said anything to her about it yet, but I'm waiting to see how much more, I don't know.
It almost seems like God then could, like, not only do we worship through fellowship, but almost like God could speak to us through fellowship.
Like say we've put together like a dinner, like some of the recovery meetings we go to will have dinners, and with those dinners, like what that entails is a whole lot of service, a whole lot of unity, a whole lot of fellowship, and a whole lot of recovery because It takes a whole lot of service because it takes people who are willing, to put up the chairs and the tables and the placemats. People who are willing to serve, serve the food. People who are willing to serve as far as like making the dishes and bringing them from home or doing them there or whatever the case may be. And so it's a whole lot of service. And what that draws together is like, so the people that are serving, it brings in the people who are willing to come and fellowship, to eat and partake, and be thankful and be grateful that they have somewhere to go to be a part of something like that, and then that just creates the fellowship, and then that creates the good atmosphere and the good clean living, that creates the recovery. So
Something like so simple, we overlook it a lot, but it sounds like you're finding freedom inside that.
yeah, lots of freedom. Really, it's as simple as like just sitting here, like we're sitting here talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's as simple as just being humble and honest and just saying, "Hey, man, this is how I feel. I don't know why I feel this way, or thank you for the things that led up to me feeling this way." But it's as simple as being honest and humble, and just talking.
Honest, humility, being open. That sounds,
It's a whole lot of recovery.
yeah. And that's what Jesus is really all about, right? Like restoring us, bringing us into that wholeness and that oneness with Him.
Yeah, fullness. Walking in the fullness.